Curious dude here. Today I want to talk about something that's really hard to get apart on Fox Mustangs, and that's the EFI quick fuel connects. So this vehicle had 3 connectors. In fact, all 3 of them were sort of like fused together, and I spent hours trying to get them apart. I've tried, different, these are special tools for that. I had some other plastic ones. I bought some new ones, and I really couldn't find any success. I've looked on YouTube, nothing. So here's my tips and tricks on how to do this. The first thing that you'll want to do is, in this case, I'm dealing with a fuel rail. So on the end that's open, I sprayed in some carb cleaner or parts tool cleaner, and I'm letting that soak down into here so it gets on to where the O-rings are that make the connection. And then I'm literally just twisting this back and forth, pulling on it a little bit, trying to get some pressure on this joint. And I can feel that it's moving a little more free than it was before as it's rotating. So that's the first thing I'll do. Let that soak. The next thing we'll do is we'll look a little bit more deeply at the actual connector. So the connector itself has a spring inside there, and it's really important. There's years and years of gunk and stuff in there, so we're going to spray some more cleaner in there and just make sure that that area is nice and saturated to get rid of any of the fuel deposits. I'm hoping some of it will overfill a little bit and get inside behind the connection. And then again, I'm going to work at this connection, trying to squeeze it together and bring it apart. Squeeze it and pull it apart, right? And now I can feel that there's a little bit of movement between all of this. Then I'll take the the release connector, and I'm actually using the cheapo ones. I borrowed these good metal ones. I actually don't find they work that well. So this is, like Harbor Freight, Princess Auto, real cheap. We'll take this down, slide it down, it'll snap when it's against the spring clips. And I can feel that, it's snapped on there. And now what I'll do is I'll just work this connection. It's gonna be a little hard to see here, but try. Just keep working at it, pulling on it, putting a little bit of pressure, twisting. And if you just keep pulling and twisting, hopefully, at least in the other 2, I had to wiggle and twist quite a bit. It eventually would pull off. Just gonna check that. I can feel it getting looser. Again, I'm just pulling and pulling. Come on, you can do it. And there we go, you can see. So what's hanging it up is the O-rings and all the fluid that's built up in the film that's built up between it, and there we go. Off. Oh, monster job. So frustrating. Clean that up. Likely replace those O-rings. And there you go. My tips on how to unstuck frozen fuel connectors on a Ford. So just a better look at how this works. See that spring inside there? That's the spring that you have to separate in order to allow the end to release. So that goes on there, presses down, and it basically spreads the spring out a little bit wider so that the other piece that's on top can pull out. So what I'll do before this all goes back together, so I'll clean that up really well. There's no deposit on there, and those O-rings are still soft, so like those are fine, but there might be other ones that are not such a good condition, and so we want to make sure that we get those cleaned up. So if you look at the connection, how it works together, you notice how that end has a lip on it. Well, when you cinch that down on there, that spring clip that's in there rests on top of there, and that's what actually gives you that firm connection. So really simple, but incredibly frustrating to get apart. So make sure you clean them real well, and hopefully you won't have as much hassle as I do, and that you found this helpful. Thanks for watching.